I'm trying this again. We had a previous stream on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and unfortunately, it was interrupted because a lot of people out here live streaming today, and I think the cellular networks just aren't digging it. So we're trying again from a new stream. Apologize for the inconvenience. Off in the distance there, that is Celebrity Edge, and in a moment we'll get chatting again about the latest in cruise news, protocol updates, and then at 6 p.m. We'll have a great view of Wonder of the Seas arriving. Wonder of the Seas being the newest cruise ship from Royal Caribbean and the world's largest cruise ship. So again, if you're joining from the previous broadcast, apologize for the interruption. If you are not, well, welcome. And later on, after we're done, you can check out the previous broadcast on your streaming preference of choice. Much better. Okay, everyone's saying much better. Yeah, it's as ships leave, it gets better, and I think all the cellular carriers, what happens is they don't have the capacity. Unfortunately, still, it shocks me when there are a lot of ships in port, and then the ships leave, and you have a couple thousand people gone each time. So, apologize for the troubles, but I welcome you guys all back, and I'm glad you're here. Let me flip the camera around. There we are. Oh man, I hate that it didn't let me continue the previous stream, because that means on the website now shows the old stream. Oh well, what can you do? Thanks for sticking around. Joe Daughtery, glad to hear masks are going away about time. Yeah, I think that's largely the consensus. And what's interesting, I fully admit I'm a very cautious person in a lot of ways in life, including this. What I think was really neat, though, is that we kind of got to see how this is going to work. One, prior to Omicron, we already had NCL, Virgin, and Celebrity not requiring masks, and then they all required masks, and then it went away. But for them, it already went away. So they've seen, as Omicron was still coming down, how that was working. And as we see the caseloads on land continue to go down, and those lines have been doing that now without masks for several weeks, we see that things are working. Things continue to be okay on board. Cases are manageable. And when cases are manageable, you're talking about 95 to 100% vaccinated population. So the concern generally isn't people getting extremely sick in that particular way with masks. It's you just don't want to overwhelm the system. You don't want so many people to have to be stuck in the room, maybe feeling fine, but stuck. Same with crew, right? That's always a struggle. Let's see. Sorry, I can't. I need to figure out how to zoom in here. There we go. Cheryl just left from the port Saturday. Regal Princess. It was awesome. Regal Princess, another one that I may be checking out soon. We're on Sky Princess. It was our very first princess sailing back over Thanksgiving. And we just saw Caribbean Princess leave on our previous broadcast. She was the first ship out of Port Everglades today. And so I pretty quickly found that, wow, Princess, they're doing something I like. And the way I keep describing Princess cruises in one word is relaxing, just relaxing. I wonder, was somebody looking for me? You had no idea I was wearing a red. Are you behind me somewhere? Karen, so here, I'll tell you why I don't think you're going to see testing going away anytime soon. And it's two reasons. One, all these requirements kind of have to be cleared by the destinations, right? If the Bahamas, if the U.S. Virgin Islands, if Mexico, if a cruise line were to make a change and those destinations were to say, well, you can make that change, but you're not coming here, well, suddenly that means those destinations are calling the shots. And that's just the reality. We can love it, we can hate it. That's the reality. And I actually really appreciate that a lot of these countries that the ships are visiting have lower vaccine rates. They have more fragile healthcare systems. So they have to be cautious themselves, even though they really want the business. So that's one reason you're not going to see testing go away, I don't think, anytime soon. However, you will see it, in my opinion, and as I wrote over on cruisehabit.com, I said masks will be first, and then testing changes, and then vaccines. Vaccines you're not going to see go away for a long time. Maybe ever. Who knows? So the other reason, however, is operationally. You can't get rid of testing requirements until the day that we're at the point that we no longer care if someone on a ship is infected. I'm not talking about whether we should. I'm not talking about the fact that, you know, we're selling nearly fully vaccinated populations and the people are fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, as long as between the CDC, between different governments, between just public health standards dictate that infected persons have to be isolated, then that means to do that, they're testing. So they don't want to have a bunch of people testing once they're on. They want to catch that before. They don't want to overwhelm those resources, and they don't want crew to be isolated and then have operational troubles there. So that's why you're not going to see testing go away yet. But as discussed on the previous stream, you are starting to see changes in those testing requirements. Several lines pushing into 3-day testing windows to allow guests more time before their cruise to get tested, which I think is a great thing in terms of convenience. I personally really like that some lines like Virgin and NCL are allowing testing at the terminal. The reason is I just think you're going to spend your time testing. Might as well spend it when you're right there, ship's right there. It's also, from a safety standpoint, all the better. You still should get tested before you leave for your cruise, just so that you're not disappointed when you do get to the terminal. Kathy, unfortunately, I'm not streaming this through YouTube. It's going through a third-party thing. So I have to see if I can make you like a permanent moderator later on. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I'm able to start blocking people from here individually. Let me spin the camera around, then I'll get to that. I see there's another question. I haven't even had a chance to read it yet. Next ship up. Oh, this is Rotterdam. Kathy, you wish you were here trying to figure out what the blue squiggly things were that you saw on the screen when you froze. Thought it was my shirt. Oh, yeah, it might have just been, I don't know, madness from the internet connectivity issues. Joe, you know what? That would be great. I suspect there will be long-term changes, and some of them great long-term changes. In fact, listen, I love the buffet changes, for example. You know what? You know who didn't have to change their buffet though? Holland America. That's Holland America Rotterdam in front of us, and they have always, as long as I remember, done buffets where the crew serves you, and I'm a big fan of that. So that's one change that Holland America didn't have to make. Rotterdam is heading off for 7 nights, going to Half Moon Cay, their private destination that other Carnival brands use as well, but it's technically a Holland America destination. Aruba and Curacao. She is the smallest ship we're going to see today, 61,000 gross tons, carrying a maximum of 1,432 guests, 647 crew. And she's been sailing since 1999, but still looking really nice. I'm a big fan of the way that Holland America vessels look, especially the New Stotendam and Eurodam, but these are nice as well. This is the sister ships here, I think Zaandam, Amsterdam, and there's another. I don't remember, but there's another. Pascal, yeah, I will. I'm going to see if I can permanently mod a bunch of you. Ian, yeah, Jetty still closed, but I don't know if you can tell this from here. We used to not be able to come past the rocks, so we had to stay pretty far back, but now we're able to get a lot closer, so that's nice. Kathy, if you've wrong thing. Kathy, if you've read anything on cruisehabit.com, and I know you have, you know that proofreading is not always my thing, so no worries. Still getting used to this interface. When is Wonder of the Seas doing? She's doing at 6. She is approaching. Last I checked, at the beginning of our previous broadcast, she was about 10 nautical miles away. So I suspect that before the last ship leaves here, we'll see her on the horizon. That's my guess. Katie, yes, I definitely prefer being served. I don't see any downside. You know, I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's going to take a long time." Well, 66 nights at sea so far. Since the resumption of cruising, and I haven't noticed any slowdown at all. I just noticed it's less of a mess. Phil, not old enough to sail Holland America all the time. I get it. Holland America definitely skews older, no doubt. That's changed a little bit with their music programs. but still skews older because a lot of people are used to it. But I will tell you, what Holland America, I like to think of, I say every line is good for somebody. Every line has something that they do really well, something unique. And for Holland America, it's their music programs. That's what it's become over the last few years. So with Billboard On Board and uh, BB King All Stars, amazing jazz performers, as well as they have classical performance. They have so many things going on. Just they do such a good job with live music that if you like live music, if you like dancing, that might be the line for you, regardless of age. But yes, they do definitely skew a little bit older. I still, I really wanted to get back on the Holland America. Larissa really wants to. Unfortunately, you know what, guys? I'll be very honest. Their internet connections kind of stink, and because I need to work from the ship sometimes, I haven't been able to get back on Holland America recently. But we'll try and do that sometime soon. But we've done New Amsterdam and New Statendam. We have live blogs of both of those over at cruisehabit.com. So that's the third ship out. Again, first being Caribbean Princess, and then we had Edge, which is right when the last stream cut out. Celebrity Edge. You guys know how much I like Edge class ships. Many of you do. And we've got live blogs from Celebrity Edge, as well as her sister ship, Celebrity Apex, over at cruisehabit.com. In fact, Celebrity Apex, we're just on we just did our very first Cruise Habit group cruise on Celebrity Apex in early January during the peak of Omicron. And guess what? None of us got COVID. It's like the protocols work, guys. So we had a blast on Celebrity Apex. And if you want to join us for another group cruise, I'll tell you, I still have a lot of secrets that I can't divulge yet about the new group cruise, but I'm promising you, there are going to be group activities that you simply can't do otherwise. They're not on the schedule. To give you a rough idea on Apex, we took care of specialty dining for everyone. We had an all-inclusive group excursion, some special events. You know what? We won't be taking care of those specialty dining on the next one because it's on Virgin Voyage's Scarlet Lady, and all of their dining is included. So if you want to join us for that, I would love to have you. I'll be doing a really cool cabin crawl as well because we've got various types of staterooms and suites already booked. So check that out at virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. I would love for you to join us. Michael, will Valiant Lady and Resilient Lady have the identical deck plans and eateries to Scarlet Lady? Yes. Valiant Lady definitely. Resilient Lady, as far as I know. The only difference between Valiant and Scarlet Lady is art, essentially. I'm sure there'll be very minor things like, oh, this wall was, a foot farther over on this ship, things that they have to do. But generally, yeah, the Scarlet and Valiant are mirror images. Resilient, I suspect, will be. I just haven't got a full confirmation on that. And you know what? It's on one hand, that's a little. I kind of wish that wasn't the case. But these ships are often going to be in different parts of the world, and people like knowing what to expect. Viking actually does this. Viking Ocean does this, and frankly, all river cruise lines do this, where they just have carbon copies of ships than what we're used to. We're actually going to be checking out river cruising later this year. Still haven't booked the exact sailing yet, but I suspect we're going to be doing a European river cruise, our very first river cruise, later this year, and I'm really excited to share that with all of you. I'm going to start doing videos soon, just about the research I've done, because it was interesting. I've spent my whole life writing about cruising, working in the cruise industry, being around the cruise industry, taking cruises since I was a little kid, and then I started looking into river cruising and realized I knew nothing. So I'll take you guys on that journey with me. Katie, it was nice, the non-smoking casino while last. Yeah, I wrote about that a few months back, or a few weeks ago. Excuse me, for Celebrity and Royal and others that had, or excuse me, Celebrity already had it, but Royal and Carnival and others that dropped smoking during Omicron in the casinos. And I said, listen, non-smokers, people that don't want to smoke in the casino, they've always said, you're going to make more money. And I said, well, this is the test for the cruise lines. See, do they lose more by not having smoking, and those who enjoy the casino and smoke, or do they lose more by having them there? And I guess the math was clear for the cruise lines because they've all brought smoking back. Now, there are some cruise lines that don't have smoke in the casinos at all. The two big ones being Celebrity Cruises. Love that I walk around there. I'm not a gambler, but I just love that I can walk by and be around and not be bothered with any smoke. And the other, Virgin. Virgin actually has something really interesting. They have a little mini smoking lounge that has some games near the casino, but it's totally separate. There's like an airlock. if you don't see this tiny sign, you'll never know it's there, and that's pretty neat. Apparently, I'm not getting comments from Twitter. Maybe I just don't love you. Well, I mean, both can be true. No, I love you, Brandon. That's interesting. I wonder why that's happening. I will have to write the streaming platform about that and find out, because I know it's worked in the past. So sorry, Twitter people. What's going on? Ian, thank you. So funny story about this shirt, and I don't have the hack that goes with it. So I was doing, if you guys have seen my video, I think it's the tour of Scarlet Lady, the video tour of Scarlet Lady that I did over on YouTube. Check out all the YouTube stuff. I'm doing more and more and more. Promised it was going to happen. It's happening. So I did that, and I introed that video standing out at the beach, a different beach up by where I live, and I'm wearing this shirt, so really standing out, and a particularly goofy Virgin sailor hat. And I said, "Ahoy there, sailors!" And I do my intro for the video. So I was on the Today Show, well, like early January, first week in January, and I gave them a bunch of footage. I said, "Use whatever you want." And I turn on NBC Today Show in the morning, and I see me going, "Ahoy there, sailors!" with a goofy hat and this shirt. And I thought, well, this is going to be middle school all over again. But thank you. Yes, I like this shirt too. All right, let's see. So we have, those are our first three. Let me spin the camera around. Who else do we have behind? So we have Odyssey. She's scheduled to leave at 5. And then we have, and then what else? Oh, we have Equinox. Equinox is here. That's right. I knew there was one other I was forgetting that was scheduled for 4. I haven't heard on the radio. Let me look down at the map and see if they're on the move yet. And also see where Wonder is, see if we have a view of her. In fact, no, that's Caribbean Princess out there. I see a white dot on the horizon. I'm wondering if that's her. Though Brandon's in here now. So I know Brandon can just be that guy that looks up everything for me. My go-to Google and Maps person. Sorry, bear with me as I look down at this real quick to check those two things. So I see one on the move here. It looks like Equinox is on the move. Celebrity Infinity is also important. I don't think they're sailing with guests yet, though, if I'm not mistaken. So Equinox should be out here momentarily. Celebrity Infinity was actually the last ship that we sailed before everything shut down, I think. Wasn't it? Yeah, we did a 2-nighter in February of 2020 on Infinity. So it looks like Wonder of the Seas is around 7 nautical miles away. Oh, look, here, I'm looking and people are answering. Richard, thank you. I need some sort of notification. And Brandon's answering. I ask you guys for things and then I look away. Annette, yes, glad you found me, Annette. We did the initial stream and there were all sorts of connectivity issues because too many of these people on these ships were having a good time in streaming. So it kicked me out of that initial stream, unfortunately. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-ta. Yeah, Kathy, I'm not seeing Twitter comments for some reason. Interesting. I'll have to check that. Dawn, you're on your way to watch your sail in. I take it you're on your way here? Annette, I'm ready to cruise again, too. I was about to say that it's going to be too long, and then I realized, I mean, it's always too long, but I've only got, another week and 5 days, something like that, until we're on Wonder of the Seas for her maiden voyage, and super stoked because, maiden voyage is always exciting. What I like about this one, it's like, oh, it's another Oasis class ship, and it is, and I've been on a bunch of Oasis class ships, but there are actually some things that are different on this Oasis class ship, this on Wonder. So I'm excited to see those for myself. Brandon said you said it looks like 15 nautical miles out. I wonder which of the keys or legends rather on is wrong. Raquel, watching from Jamaica, you want to sail on her soon? Listen, I always want to sail on every ship soon. If I ever master omnipresence, I'll be on more than one cruise at a time. Karen, I'm actually so it's interesting. The only Oasis class ship that I won't have been on as of a week and a half from now when we're on Wonder is Oasis of the Seas. But we're going to fix that because we're actually going to go for a quick 3-nighter on Oasis of the Seas in April. I don't remember what date, but I think Annette sent me an email saying that I owe her money for that. So I should probably do that. Katie on Independence of the Seas, March 14th. Can't wait. First cruise of 2022. Indy, I did Indy right before her refurb a couple years ago over Thanksgiving and had a lovely time. Is it your first cruise since the return of service or just of 2022? Don, I'll tell you, you've probably heard me say it before. The reason I end up here more than the other side, one, parking's easier here, and two, there are bathrooms here. The number of times that I've had to run a half mile through the sand with all of my equipment under my arm at the end of a broadcast on that other side, to then drive entirely too quickly to a hotel to find a bathroom is, yeah. Kathy, it's been since December 2019 that you were on a ship. That's too long. I look forward to your return to the seas. Joe, you're on Mardi Gras. It was wonderful. Yeah, I still really want to go on Mardi Gras. I watched. I visited Mardi Gras for the day a couple of times while she was in port over at Port Canaveral, and I was pretty smitten. Like I thought, wow, if this is the direction Carnival's going on. I was impressed when the Vista class came out. I thought, oh, this is really aesthetically, in my opinion, a much nicer ship. When Mardi Gras came out, I was like, this is a game changer. This is not just a game changer for Carnival. Mardi Gras is a game changer for the contemporary industry. I have to think that NCL and Royal Caribbean are looking at Mardi Gras and saying, okay, we got to make sure that we can compete with that, because that's an impressive looking ship. Really want to sail on her. Just had the 2 day visits. We'll have to fix that at some point. Prima, however, NCL Prima booked on that, and that remind me, I need to move that. NCL Prima is going to be really cool because that, I think, is another ship that could be sort of an industry game changer. Passenger space ratios alone. I often talk about passenger space and passenger crew ratios when discussing contemporary lines versus premium lines. Well, NCL Prima has more space for every passenger than any contemporary ship ever. Period. So that'll be exciting to see. Karen, your first cruise since COVID. I would be lying if I said that I didn't cry at least once. Come close to crying a bunch of times once I started sailing again. Oops, where am I going here? Scrolled too far. Katie, cruise Thanksgiving and Christmas. I did the same. I just realized that. I double holidayed this year. Wonder has slowed to 12 knots. Brandon really keeping an eye on things. I appreciate that, Brandon. Probably waiting for the outbound ships. Yeah, it's, I mean, one, she can't get too close until she has a pilot. I didn't hear what time they said the pilot would be on for Wonder. I do see a white dot way out there. I wonder if that is her. I don't remember how far you can see on the horizon at sea level. Anywho, so yeah, she's got to wait for the pilot before she gets to that last sea buoy, and yeah, you can stay out of the way for traffic for Equinox, and then Odyssey will be the last cruise ship out. I don't know, they may have some cargo traffic that they need to catch up on between there as well. Excuse me. Annette, if you can find, do they have any like weekend, like weird because of a charter or anything, Mardi Gras sailings? If you can find one of those, just put me on it. Because, you know, the reason I haven't done it is because I need to work on those 7-night cruises a lot of the time so that I can spend time on group cruises with you guys. So come on group cruises, we can hang out the whole time. I won't be working then. So if you can find a weekend that, I don't know if she's doing any, Mardi Gras is doing any, just book it. Alyssa, I think that says Alyssa, small print, did a back-to-back on Mardi Gras, had an amazing time. Yeah, you know what I liked about Mardi Gras, and in a very different way that they also do on Scarlet Lady, is instead of these really large venues, they have a whole bunch of small venues. Now, the risk there is, well, what if like 3 of them are really popular and 14 of them are not that popular? That's bad. But it doesn't seem to be the case on Mardi Gras. It seems like people spread out really nicely because they have so many options, so many different types of bars, lounges, theater-like venues, open spaces. Man, what's it called? The Serenity Deck, I think it's called. The adults-only area is gorgeous. The sunken area in front of the pool. Oh my God! Sorry, I really like that ship. The Havana lounge. That's gorgeous. So many wonderful spaces. The atrium concept is just, I get very excited about Mardi Gras. I really like that ship. James, missed me doing this. Doing Anthem in 2 weeks. Second post, I'm guessing you mean post-COVID cruise. Did Oasis in October. Enjoying the live video again. I'm glad to be doing it again. I'm so glad you guys are here. I just realized as I'm talking, I'm on a backup internet connection. We'll make sure this thing has battery. That would be, bad. Yes, battery's fine on that. Now, I'm so glad to be back doing this, and I'm even more glad to do it when we're on board ships, whether it's live or the videos over on the YouTube channel. Guys, if you are not subscribed to the Cruise Happy YouTube channel, please, pretty please, subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you guys were able to do that, because we're doing more and more on YouTube, and it's you know what? I'll be very honest. I only have so many hours of the day. That's why I don't do the podcast anymore. I'd love to bring that back, but I'm like, okay, if I'm doing the video thing, drop the paper. I need to commit, but I want people watching so that I can get feedback. So tell me what you like and what you don't like. One's down in Florida. Watch out. Gonna try and be Billy. So Annette, yeah, Annette's moving to Florida. I'm just gonna show up randomly every time I go to Disney World with my pillow under my arm. Listen, if you do that, you're only gonna motivate me to cruise more. That'd be fun. We can just turn into full-time cruisers. Michelle, do you think NCL will be okay financially if a crew? Yes, absolutely. The big three are fine. What the big three have been doing in terms, and this is the very short version, Equinox is about to come out, but the very short version is the big three are, when I say the big three, the Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, Royal Caribbean Group, and Carnival Corporation, PLC. They're public companies, and they took on a bunch of debt at the beginning when there was zero cash flow. They had crazy negative cash flow. And now two things have changed. One is they no longer have negative cash flow. They're just about they're in the range of breaking even. They're going to start making money soon, and that's good. And two, because the outlook is so much better, because they have cash flow coming in again, because the prospect for traveling is looking fantastic in the near, medium, and long-term future. All these big three companies, they've been renegotiating their debt. So they're saying, oh, we took out this really high interest rate loan, essentially, for whatever, $5 billion. We're going to pay that off with another loan that's at a lower interest rate. And every month or two, you see all these publicly traded companies, not just cruise lines, but all these impacted businesses doing that. They're fine. You've nothing to worry about there. You did a back-to-back-to-back on Mardi Gras? Okay, I've done a back-to-back, never done a back-to-back-to-back. Annette, what if I did a back-to-back-to-back-to-back, and then I could stay on for Richard Branson's birthday bash on Scarlet Lady? Huh? Eh? Brandon, only one cargo ship to go out before Wonder arrives. The rest are outbound. What about inbound? I see at least one. I think I see two cargo ships at Anchorage. So I don't know. Sometimes they have them set at Anchorage. Don't forget this. You have the stream link. Man, Kathy, thank you. Picking up where I slack. In addition to subscribing over on YouTube, yeah, click like that. That definitely helps get the word out so that people see these live broadcasts, people see the ship tours, the cabin tours, news updates, and I can get everyone's questions answered. I try really hard to answer all the questions that come up in the comments during these live broadcasts, but then I go back on YouTube every single night. I'm looking and answering cruise questions. Katie, her sister is in town with her sister's kids, so they're hanging out without me because I like ships more than children. Let's see. Oh, wow, I'm way behind. Here we go. Oh, look, we have somebody else to ban here as Equinox goes out. Block on YouTube and add to restream block. All right. Sorry about that. Had to do a little housekeeping there. Definitely going to make some of you mods when I learn how to do that later. All right, here's Celebrity Equinox. That's another wonderful ship that we enjoyed. And Brandon Owen, he's in here. Him and Kathy, they enjoyed not Equinox, but have you guys done Equinox? No, because you guys did. Oh, I've lost track. Silhouette, you guys did another celebrity cruise in addition to the Edge that we're all on together. That was a wonderful surprise. And I've done Equinox. In fact, Equinox is one of the last sailings that I did before everything shut down. That was yeah, remember that? And Equinox was an interesting cruise for us because not only was it my first solstice class cruise, but our itinerary was changed to bring relief aid to the Bahamas because it was right after a hurricane. Right now, she's headed off for 12 nights, going to St. Croix, St. John's, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, Dominica, and St. Kitts. Um, so she's 122,000 gross tons. I mentioned on the first stream, I'm going to keep calling out the tonnage because I want you to keep that in mind when we see Wonder of the Seas come into port. So Equinox, 122,000 gross tons, the second Solstice class ship. And she had a big dry dock in 2019 as part of Celebrity Revolution. So you can check out the refurbished Celebrity Equinox from our live blog over at cruisehabit.com when we sailed on her. And I think we even made a video about the relief effort that the ship did. And everyone on board got a big refund since the trip was interrupted because of that. And I encouraged people to donate to a relief fund. That's what I did with that refund. And if that should happen to anyone in the future, yeah, do the right thing. Give that back. You're looking at the Port Everglades schedule. I always forget that's a thing, Brandon. This is why you're here. This is why you're here. Ashley, thank you very much. That's right. Brandon likes Silhouette better than Edge. We need to sit down over a beer or coffee if it's in the morning, and by morning I mean before 3 o'clock for me. And I want to find out why. Because listen, it's an opinion. I love I love that class of ship, but I personally prefer Edge. That's why I like that there are different ships out there, different preferences. But you put me on any celebrity ship, and I'm a pretty happy guy. In fact, Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog sent me a photo. He's in Nassau today on Indy, and I think Apex was there as well as Millennium. And Millennium, man, she's one of the older celebrity ships sailing, but she had a nice refurb, and I love that ship. She'll always have a special place in my heart because Millennium was the first cruise that I took after COVID. That was June 5th out of St. Martin. It was really cool cruising out of St. Martin. Wonder is just visible on the horizon. I see a dot on the horizon. I see several dots, but I see a new dot, so maybe that's it. Joe, you've done on 165 cruises, still maintain that country best mile cruise line cruise we've ever done was Paul Gauguin in Southwest Pacific Islands. Got to go. It's unbelievable. I would love to do a South Pacific sailing. I suspect I would probably end up doing that on Oceania for a few reasons, but I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to do something like that. The only thing that keeps you from doing it right now is that, you lose like 2 days to being on a plane, especially when you're on the East Coast. One day. Kathy, I'm sure I've asked you this. When are you doing Beyond? I'm sure I did ask you. I should start writing these things down. Years ago, I made a calendar to keep track of all these things so that people can contribute. I have an improved version that I need to launch. Brandon might be the only person that remembers that. That's very true. So, Brandon, I'll tell you, that's a good point about Edge series and a lot of newer ships. A lot of newer ships from all cruise lines, you can't see forward unless you're in the suite-only area. Whereas there's a lovely lounge that I can't think of the name of on Equinox. I have a picture of myself in front of the Thinker there on Equinox. But yes, there is a lovely forward-facing lounge. I can appreciate that. It's a great, great venue. All right. So, Brandon, I swear to you, I know I keep saying this, I had every intention either last weekend or this weekend of going to the parks. And then last weekend was that Virgin Voyages event over at Terminal V, Virgin Voyages' new terminal. You can check out, I did a video tour there on our YouTube channel. And then this weekend, Larissa's sister came into town. So I guess what I'm trying to say, Larissa's sister ruined everything. You're on the repositioning from Bayonne to Florida, her first U.S. sailing. You're going to beat me to that ship, probably. I may do a repo from New York to South Florida on Norwegian Prima, because I have a likely schedule conflict that I still need to talk to Annette about. How do I ban Brandon? Is there a button for that? All right, guys, that's Celebrity Equinox sailing out. For those of you who weren't there in the first broadcast, let's recap a couple things that we discussed. And Odyssey should be out in front of us in just a moment. There was a lot of news over the last couple days in the world of cruising around COVID protocols. So I actually put out several days ago, week ago, over on cruisehabit.com saying, hey, don't think that cruise protocols are going to change drastically very quickly. Here's why. And then I said the first thing to change will probably be mask requirements. Well, I swear I didn't have any insider info there because days later, we saw lines that previously didn't require masking but did during Omicron. They backed that up. And now we're going to see the end of February and beginning of March, pretty much all cruise lines making masks optional for fully vaccinated guests. And I think that's going to do a lot to make people really happy on board. And from what we've seen on other lines that dropped it earlier, like Celebrity, like Virgin and NCL, it seems to work just fine, given that these are like nearly full or fully vaccinated populations. So, excuse me. So that's I think that's going to be something that everyone loves. Now, testing, there were some testing updates as well, but very minor ones. Some lines are changing to a 3-day test window rather than a 2-day test window. If you're flying from out of town, that's going to be a big relief. Check with your cruise line. Different lines still have different policies for this, and some lines are still testing at the port, which is what I find highly preferable. Raquel, wondering if they're going to sail Wonder of the Seas to Jamaica. Let's see. I know the Maiden isn't going to Jamaica because the Maiden. We're going to, actually, I think I wrote it down here. I had to write down where I'm going in a week and a half. The Maiden's going to Labadee, San Juan, Nassau, Perfect Day, Coco Cay. I don't know if she's doing any Jamaica stops. Odyssey still at the dock. Well, tell them to hurry up. Brandon, Infinity is sailing. I didn't know if she was sailing today because she wasn't on my schedule. Where would I be without Brandon? I mean, like, not physically, I'd probably be right here, but you know what I mean. Sending Brandon a pizza or something. Or there's Drizzly. I could literally send you beer, like, remotely. And then I just can keep pushing back that date that I go to Orlando. So yeah, COVID protocol updates, again, with the mask updates, generally speaking, fully vaccinated guests will not be required to wear masks on most cruise lines starting the end of February, beginning of March. There may be certain cases, if there are a couple cases on board of COVID, or if in a particularly crowded venue like in a theater or something, it is possible. So you'll still want to be prepared for that, but it won't be like it has been. If you do switch to one of those lines that is testing, that allows you to test 3 days out, by all means do that. But you know what? Take some home tests with you. Check right before you go on board so that you don't end up having a less than magical time on your cruise. I'm an overly cautious person. Whoops, so many buttons. Last cruise was November 2017 from Miami to Mexico on Carnival. I don't remember even what cruises I did in 2017. I had to write down what cruises I have next week. I should probably write those down. Pardon me. The constant breeze and being allergic to the world. Brandon with the important information there. Daytona 500's lap 108. 108 of how many, Brandon? See what I did there? All right. Raquel would do cruising for hobby. I had somebody tell me, I answered their cruise question on Twitter. They didn't ask me. I just caught it in my feed, and I answered, and they said, what a weird hobby. And I thought, is wanting to relax that weird? Brandon, yeah, but the problem is going back. Like, all the ones that are coming up, like, I have written down somewhere, but I'm talking about, like, the 100, 200 cruises that I've done over my life. From the last several years, I have a stack of key cards, but I need to retroactively do something there. I'm looking over to see if Infinity is out yet. I don't know where Infinity's going. This is awkward because I didn't even know she was sailing today. This is what happens when we do it live. What other cruise news and information do we have to talk about? Oh, I know. I actually published an article or had something published over on touring plans. Guys, if you know what touring plans is, if you don't know what touring plans is, I should say, they have a machine learning algorithm to make it so that you wait less in theme parks. They have a great blog about theme parks, and they run Touring Plans Travel. Our travel partners, my travel agents, my friends, check out Touring Plans Travel. You can find information, get a quote in the purple form at cruisehabit.com. Shameless plug. But they have a really good blog, except that they let me occasionally write for it. And I actually wrote a post there talking about questions that I've been asked that I know are on everyone's mind, like non-cruisers or people that don't cruise as much when they hear that I've been at sea 66 nights since the return of COVID. So check that out and check out cruisehabit.com. Yes, check that out. Check out touringplans.com. They have a lot of great blog content, especially if you're even vaguely interested in theme parks. Raquel, I've done, I don't know the actual number, well over 100, maybe it's 200. I don't know. Many. I've been cruising since I was a little kid. I'm the luckiest person I know. Brandon, no ships. Okay, I thought Infinity was on the move. Apologies. Deborah, yeah, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing Wonder as she sails in. Right now, we're covering the ships that are leaving. Next out is supposed to be Odyssey. I had heard them before say that they were on time and that the pilot was on time, so I'm not sure why they're delayed now. Hopefully it's not long. At this point, I'm just checking to see if I get any alerts on my phone about it or anything like that. But I'm very excited. I'm excited to see Wonder of the Seas for the first time. For the same reason that I'm excited to board her in a little over a week and a half, because she's not only a new ship, she's not only the largest ship, but she's actually different than the other Oasis class ships. And I think we're going to be able to see that once she gets up in front of us. We're going to see that the way that they semi-enclose the boardwalk, the aqua theater area, we're going to see that with the different solarium. I think it's more of a semi-climate controlled solarium, kind of like on Odyssey of the Seas, which we've been on Odyssey a couple times. She quickly became our favorite Royal Caribbean ship. So we did an almost back-to-back. We sailed, and then we had like a couple weeks and sailed again a couple months ago. Brandon, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know some itineraries were just switched to Infinity, but I didn't think she was sailing. Huh. There's a pilot boat in the basin, so I'm guessing they're close sailing. Maybe sometimes the pilot boat like just does circles, or I like when you see the pilot, and there's just like burning gas. They put the nose of the pilot boat up against the dock and try and keep it straight without like pivoting because it's an angled front. I think it's funny. If you guys are wondering what pilots are, by the way, harbor pilots, they're unlimited. They're individuals with unlimited tonnage master's licenses, very experienced sailors, and they know the ins and out of the port, the way that currents tend to work here, weather conditions, local hazards, traffic patterns, stuff like that. And most major ports require that larger vessels take on a pilot when going in and out. And the pilot is in charge of the ship along with the captain when going in and out. We actually have an article all about harbor pilots and what they do over at cruisehabit.com. So it's a very neat thing, in my opinion. Raquel, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that's tricky. There are some lines that are allowing some exceptions for those medically not able to be vaccinated. And yeah, DVT is a tough one too, because then just getting some places can be an adventure. I'm sure you have as many compression stockings as I own socks at this point. But hopefully we're able to. Hopefully that's able to change for you can get traveling soon. Dante, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. We always do everything we can to stay safe, both on sea and on land. I'll tell you, I'm much more worried about being on land lately. I kept every couple weeks I was on a ship and everything was going great, and then I got home and I don't know, like 3 people get hit by trains right by me in the last couple weeks. I thought I need to get back on a ship. I'm way safer out there. Let's see. I'm looking out on the horizon, see if I see Wonder coming. Brandon, you said they slowed down. Let's see what else I have in my notes. I want to make sure I don't forget to talk about anything with you guys. Oh, the conditional sail order. So you guys probably read, and I didn't write a whole thing about this because, frankly, everyone else did, and it just, I don't like to get too much into, yeah, I got tired, honestly, during COVID of writing just about like laws. So, but the conditional sail order changed several weeks ago and became optional for cruise lines. But pretty much every cruise line has signed on, said they're going to follow it. I just wanted for 30 seconds to tell you why I actually think that's an important thing, is because the CDC, whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. They have the authority to kind of rein in foreign vessels entering U.S. ports. So I think staying with the conditional sail order, which is lighter than the previous version, but it does incentivize certain things like requiring boosters and other stuff like that. I think that staying with it makes so the cruise lines know what to expect. They know what to do to stay in the good grace of the CDC and to demonstrate, hey, we are playing ball. We're doing everything right. So if there is a problem, somebody gets COVID on board, because it's going to happen. It's going to keep happening for years. It's not because we weren't doing the right things. Now, what we've seen is lines have been able to loosen up some of the things that they're doing. And that's what we were talking about earlier, like with mask requirements dropping on almost every cruise line, despite doing that. So it just goes to show you that when everyone's working together and being creative, things can be done safely. And we're in a much better situation than we were. Sorry, scrolling through a bunch of stuff here, guys, while my nose is running. Oh, I know. I launched. If anyone's sailing out of Port Canaveral anytime soon, maybe even on Wonder of the Seas, because Wonder of the Seas, she was originally built for the Chinese market. She's going to come here, and then she's going. I think is going over to Europe. I have this written down. Going over to Europe for a while, and then coming back to Port Canaveral later on, which is just east of Orlando. I put a review up of my kind of go-to hotel in the Port Canaveral area. I've always thought Port Canaveral is a weird place for hotels. Odyssey on the Move, thank you. I've always thought Odyssey is that Port Canaveral is a very strange place in terms of hotels because it's beautiful. It feels very old Florida. You've got Kennedy Space Center nearby. You've got now what's turned into, I think, by passenger volume, maybe the second busiest cruise port, sometimes the third in the world. Beautiful beaches. It's such a lovely place. And like, there's not a great selection of hotels, in my opinion, in the Cocoa Beach, Port Canaveral area. But I've tried a bunch, and I wrote about the one that I prefer. It's not where we stay all the time, but where we stay most of the time. So you can check that out over at cruisehabit.com in our review of it's the Hilton Cocoa Beach Oceanfront. I always screw up the word order there. Raquel, yeah, definitely check out the Royal Caribbean website. See if you can apply for exemptions, stuff like that. Also, one of the other changes that was made that may be helpful on Carnival brands is Carnival previously said, hey, if you're not vaccinated, you can apply for an exception. But pretty much all of those exceptions went to kids because they didn't want to tell families they couldn't go because the kid was too young to get vaccinated, right? Well, they changed some stuff, and now it's no longer an exemption for kids under 5 that aren't vaccinated since they can't be vaccinated. So that means the exemptions that they do make, more of those may be able to go to people like yourself that are simply not able to get vaccinated. So that it may be easier on Carnival Corporation lines now than it has been in the previous weeks. Phil, you'll be sailing out of Port Canaveral in April. You're bummed that you already booked your hotel. Read your article too late. So listen, I'm sure you'll have a lovely time. You can keep it in mind for next time. Maybe you'll write a review and then go to Hilton and you can compare. Maybe you'll find my next go-to hotel. Don't know. But when you're in the Port Canaveral area, do check out, if you have time, some of the local attractions. I wrote an article, actually another one over on the Touring Plans blog several months ago, about why it's great to sail out of Port Canaveral, because Kennedy Space Center, beautiful beaches. It's not crowded over there. It's very different than like Fort Lauderdale Beach, South Beach kind of thing. It's so relaxing. I love the Port Canaveral area. So you should definitely check it out while you're there if you have some extra time. Ander wonders, waiting for Odyssey to depart and then they will come. I believe you. I haven't heard anything, but I also just realized my radio volume was way down. So hopefully that'll happen soon. And Brandon said that Odyssey's on the way. I wonder, that's interesting. I'm looking at Equinox, and they've turned the vessel to allow the pilot to debark, but it feels like it's been turned for a minute now. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to stay in position and watch Wonder sail in. It is, as I say, a company ship. In other words, even though it's a different cruise line, all falls under the Royal Caribbean Group umbrella. Deborah can't believe there aren't more people on the beach for this. Everyone's cruise ship crazy. Not everyone's cruise ship crazy like the rest of us. You know what? I mean, there's a fair number of people. I suspect we'll see more in the next few, because I know Royal Caribbean and Port Everglades both tweeted out stuff about coming to this park for the arrival of Wonder of the Seas. So we'll see. Sorry, I'm distracted by a couple of things right now. So I feel like, Raquel, if I missed a question, I do apologize. But yeah, our Cruise Habit, we partnered with Touring Plans Travel, which is a travel agency, and I'll tell you why I did. It's not like, oh, Billy, a corporate sponsor type thing. The reason is because truly, Annette, who runs Touring Plans, has been somebody that has been that has had a hand in booking my travel for probably about 10 years. I even worked for Annette for a little while years ago when I was a travel agent. So the reason that I partnered with Touring Plans Travel, the reason I recommend using Touring Plans Travel, is not only because they're nice people that I know are responsible and do a great job of helping make travel planning easy and getting people the best deals possible, but because I trust them with my own travel plans, and I never want to recommend that somebody does something that I wouldn't do myself. So every cruise that you see me on, Touring Plans help me do that. When I take trips on land, oftentimes Touring Plans help me do that. When you hear me ask Annette what ship I'm going to be on next, it's because I don't know, and Annette helped me do that. So you can actually, there's a purple form on the side or on the bottom, depending on what device you're on, over at cruisehabit.com to request a quote from Touring Plans. You can do that, or at the very bottom, there's a link to Touring Plans Travel, right to the travel agency part of Touring Plans, because they're a company that does all sorts of really cool things for travel. So check that out. Dante, do I think all of the Oasis class ships will meet up again like last time? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if they have that plan. I have not heard much from Royal Caribbean Group, from like their media people, about any events yet. I think it's because they're still. I think it's because this is a photo finish. How's that with with Wonder of the Seas? But that would be very cool. What she's referring to is when Symphony of the Seas came out, and earlier today I was actually wearing my Symphony inaugural shirt. They had all the Oasis class ships meet up for an amazing photo op. So we'll see if that happens sometime in the future. TJ, can't wait to go in August. Are you sailing Wonder in August? What are you sailing in August? Alec, we're going to be on Wonder March 4th, so come say hi. And in fact, if you check out my most recent Touring Plans blog article, you'll see my rule is that I will buy you a drink. You just have to say the magic words. Magic words are Epcot is the world's greatest theme park. Kim, hey Kim, it's so fun to watch you from Celebrity Silhouette in Aruba right now. Kim, I'm so jealous. Craig texted me yesterday. We're joking about sax tracks. Yesterday, day before. What is time? Kim and Craig, they're fantastic individuals. They joined us on the very first Cruise Habit Group cruise on Apex, Celebrity Apex, back in early January, and they're going to join us as well on the Virgin Voyages Group cruise. So check that out, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. I'd love for everyone to hang out because, Annette, we need to get those things. We need to finalize those things because I want to share all the exciting stuff that we're planning for the Virgin Voyages Group cruise. I'm so stoked. And I will tell you guys, it's going to be like an epic cabin crawl because we have so many different types of suites and cabins booked. Oh, hey there. How are you? Do I have a cam onto the port for Wonder of the Seas? So there is was it PTZ TV that has a camera like across from me? I just pointed and I have the camera facing me. That's not the way that works. But so what we're going to see is, let me flip the camera. There's a camera on a building across from here, which is, this isn't good business practice. Let me tell you guys how to not watch me. there's a there's a camera over there that you guys can see now that I flipped the camera around. But what's going to happen is Wonder of the Sea is going to come from our right. In fact, she's on the horizon over there, and she's going to come in, I suspect, with some fireboats, tugs, spraying water, a whole big thing. And yeah, they did that also when Harmony left here the first time. They did that, and it was really cool. Except I was standing on that jetty, and I wasn't on Harmony, even though I was supposed to be, because I had like 103-degree fever when Harmony came out. And the fireboats are going, and they're spraying water in the air, and now it's raining, and there's this water mist, and I had a fever. It was not a great time.
The edge came in, we were on the water taxi.
Oh, that's very cool. Where was I when Edge came in? I think I was on a cruise when Edge came in. First time. Brandon with the link. Thank you, Brandon.
Up there. I didn't get caught. They didn't chase me away.
Oh, under the grass over there?
Yeah, I got right on the jetty.
Oh, under the jetty. Yeah, sometimes they chase people off, sometimes they don't. TJ, let me see. Miss it there, sailed on Harmony in 2018 from Port Everglades. So I sailed Harmony of the Seas the week after the storms went through that damaged that jetty. And I remember there wasn't even footage of it yet. And I remember I left, we're on the ship, and I looked down at the jetty and the condition that it was in. And I thought, well, that's done for a while. Brandon, I knew you were going to ask eventually. No, Larissa's not here. Larissa's with her sister who's in town. So unfortunately, I don't get to see her until after Sailways.
Yeah, I want to thank you for your kind work. Good to be on this one.
And by the way, I'm talking to. Can I say your name? Yeah. I'm talking to Enid, who was over here. She was messaging me earlier today. We were talking about coming out to visit. And listen, if anyone is ever out here and you see me, I've literally had people while I'm broadcasting like send a message, like, can I come over? And then I don't see it until after the broadcast. You can always come over and say hi if you want. You can always be on camera, or you can not be on camera. Either one. Since before COVID. Oh, see, Enid is already helping out because here I'm just rambling. Meanwhile, Odyssey is right here. Affluent Journeys. Hey there. I follow you guys. I'm trying to remember your first name. Thanks for coming in. So Marine Traffic says Wonder of the Seas coming in at 13.6 knots. Fantastic. So they had slowed down before, but I guess now that I definitely see them now. Now that Odyssey's on her way out, they know traffic's good, so they're speeding up. And the position I'm seeing Equinox in, I still wonder if Equinox is going to be hanging out to greet a company ship. So there's Odyssey of the Seas, the last cruise ship that's leaving here today, unless Infinity is leaving. I don't know what Infinity's doing, but we're going to see Wonder of the Seas shortly. Odyssey of the Seas, we sailed her twice a couple months ago, and she very quickly became our favorite Royal Caribbean ship. And it's interesting because what I keep saying about Odyssey is Odyssey has, for me, it's my personal preferences. Odyssey ticks all the boxes for things I'm not looking for on a cruise ship. Right? It's not. However, I thought it was so well executed that we immediately booked to go back. So that's how much I like Odyssey. That even though she's not the type of ship I would usually go for, it all comes together so beautifully on that ship that we were on a couple times. I've got a hyperlapse ship tour over on our YouTube channel of Odyssey. So if you have like 4 minutes and want to see Odyssey, perfect thing for you, hyperlapse ship tour. I've also got a cabin tour of a junior suite that's right there somewhere on Odyssey of the Seas. Also on Mike at Affluent Journeys. Hey there, Mike. Sorry, I couldn't remember your name. Pleasure. So you can check out the cabin tour as well. Joe, your wife and you are about to book around the world with Cunard. I miss Cunard. I was supposed to sail with Gerald and Jessica on QM2 to a crossing, and then COVID happened. We're just talking. I was actually talking to my dad the other day about needing to reschedule the crossing. I love Cunard, which is funny because I guess kind of like Odyssey. How I say Odyssey, it's not the type of stuff I look for on a ship, except for 270. That is everything that I like. It comes together in a way that's wonderful. And I'm not a very formal person. So you say, well, Billy, then why would you do Cunard? Man, Cunard is just such a cool experience. I describe it as Titanic before the iceberg.
No, it's about the size.
Deborah, will I go live on Wonder March 4th? You're sailing on March 18th, and are excited to see some first looks at entertainment schedules, etc. The short answer is yes. I will absolutely be doing some live videos. I don't think I'm going to do a live blog. I think I'm going to blog about certain venues and stuff like that.
Port Everglades, March 30.
Sorry, just listen to radio traffic. I don't think I'm going to do a live blog, but I'll be doing live videos, and I'll be blogging about some of the things going on Wonder of the Seas during that cruise. And that's partially because I'll actually be working that week, so it's going to be interesting. TJ, right now the local time here in South Florida is 17:34, 5:34 Eastern. Oh, and Kathy answered. Sorry. Mike from Affluent Journey said you did Odyssey TA inaugural and it was impressive, especially the Effector show. Yeah, I have an article about the Effector show on Odyssey, in that it is visually stunning. Like, the technology involved is amazing. So one thing I'm excited to see on Wonder is actually that on Wonder they have the Effectors 2 Crash and Burn. So let's see. The Effectors, Captain Viz, Loom, Pixel, and Reverb return in an exhilarating high-tech battle with their arch nemesis, Crash, and his new sidekick, Burn. The heroes will use their superpowers based on artistic talents, performance skills, and unlimited power of creativity to save the planet and edge out their rivals once and for all. Latest installment of Effectors is bigger, bolder, featuring trailblazing applications of autonomous technology pioneered by Royal Caribbean. Clearly, I wrote that copy. Clearly. So yes, I'm excited to see the sequel, essentially, to the Effectors, which I first saw. I think I saw the second performance ever of, in fact, on Odyssey of the Seas. Watching live, hello to everyone watching live. If this is your first time joining, my name is Bill from cruisehabit.com. We'll spin the camera around here in a second. I'm out here live just outside of Port Everglades at Dr. Vondi Mizzaeula Johnson State Park. If you're here, come say hi. And we do live broadcasts like this occasionally. We used to do them every weekend, but more and more we've been doing live broadcasts from ships. You never know what ship we're going to turn out on. And right now we are waiting for one ship in particular, and that is Wonder of the Seas. Wonder of the Seas is the newest cruise ship and the world's largest cruise ship. We're actually going to be on her maiden voyage in just over a week and a half. And we'll be sharing that with you guys. Make sure, if this is your first time, that you like us on Facebook, follow along on Twitter, and of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Over on YouTube, we've got ship tours, reviews, news, and information pieces, stuff like that. And of course, over on the Cruise Habit website, lots of stuff over there as well. Brandon says, speaking of Titanic, got lots of laughs on the Titanic swim team shirt last weekend. One lady even took down the site, cruisehabit.com, because her husband loved it so much. Well, thank you, Brandon. Brandon's my street team. We have a number of cruise shirts and other stuff over at the Cruise Habit shop if you guys want to check that out. Ashley, I'm sure everyone ahead of you will have a great time, but we'll warm up the ship for it, because it's like you get a new car, yeah, it's a new car, but it's really after the first week that it gets good. Everything's well lubricated and moving, right? The whole process. So we'll make sure we leave it in great condition for you. TJ, you went on P&O last year. Much preferred to Royal Caribbean. I've actually never done P&O because not a whole lot of North American sailings. I've done sailings out of Europe, but not on P&O. I'm a big fan of trying every cruise line possible. I've done 15 cruise lines so far, and if you count River, then I'll be adding another cruise line, at least one cruise line, later this year. Katie, I'm assuming that comment was before I turned the camera around. We'll turn the camera back around to the ocean because no one wants to see my mug, right? Brandon, Infinity on the move. All right, I officially have no idea what's going on. I didn't realize Infinity was going to be moving. Thank you. I wonder, do they even have guests? Jamie Hubbard, hello from the UK. Looking forward to Wonder in April of 2023. Very good. I hope you have more cruise before then because I'm not a patient person. If you told me that my next cruise was April of 2023, I would immediately begin to cry because I'm a very spoiled person. Jill always enjoys seeing my mug. Well, Jill, you and Larissa, and I think that's about it. Katie, wish you could be on board with all of the vloggers on the Wonder. Yeah, but you know, when you're on with vloggers, then all that happens, you end up looking at everything through someone's camera. Like you have to look around our big heads and camera rigs and stuff. And who wants that? But wish you were there with us, of course. Trying to clear out some spammers here, guys. There we go. Husband, you were on the inaugural. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Is it Avigay? I will be on the inaugural, so we'll see you there. 50th cruise 1 week away on Regent Splendor. I've not done Regent yet. I've sailed Oceana several times and love Oceana. So Regent's definitely on my list of lines to check out. Dante, I think there's a contract or at least an option for another Oasis class. I think, but maybe I'm wrong. Jill, you know, sometimes you just have to appreciate people's determination. Which I guess maybe I'm just saying that to convince myself that I did an okay job of recovering from losing my my scheduled stream when the internet went out. Alec, yes, if you just search Cruise Habit, you can find all the stuff that we do. Facebook, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. In fact, I should be taking stuff for Instagram. That would be smart. And the YouTube channel, of course. Not sure how you're watching me here. Looks like, yeah, you're watching on YouTube right now. And then we've got written content at cruisehabit.com. We'll write for some other sites occasionally too, including the Touring Plans blog. Just publish some new stuff there. We've got everything from ship tours to opinion pieces, news, and, you know, just tips, because everyone has questions, whether it's your first cruise, your 400th cruise. We like to think there's something that we can share and that you can share with us so that we can all learn. In fact, the other day we put out an article, a common question I got, and I thought I need to put that on the website, make sure it's clear for people. People often ask me, they said, I'm interested in cruising, but I don't want to dine with other people that I don't know, or I want to cruise solo. Can I dine with other people? And the answer to both those questions is absolutely. You can make dining requests about your seating arrangements for a particular type of table, sit with particular people, or not sit with people. I joked on social media when I put that article out there. I said, you know, all friends start as strangers, but you may not want to make that journey, you know, when you're on a cruise. You always have that option. So we've got stuff across all channels. So check it out, follow along, and share. A celebrity, Michael Franklin Poole, MFP, is watching on YouTube. Well, why isn't he commenting? Probably like working while holding a child, all sorts of stuff. Hey there, Michael Poole, if you're watching. Mark can't wait for the Mason jar on that maiden voyage, Wonder of the Seas. So the Mason jar, I believe, I'm trying to remember all the names of the venues on here. Mason jar is the southern venue, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can tell me. Yeah, Mason Jar Southern Restaurant Bar. Okay, just had a little bit of doubt there for a moment. Yeah, I'm excited for all the stuff that's new on Wonder. It seems like they really put a lot of stuff in there that's either brand new to the fleet or new to that class of ship. Sports Crazy, well, thank you for watching and in advance our Wonder coverage. Hello from Wet Leeds in the UK. Sailing Wonder 9/11/2022 out of Barcelona. I've never sailed. I actually have. You know what? Except for the airport in, where was I? Thinking, yeah, in Barcelona. I've never been to Spain. I need to do that at some point. Cruising with JT. Yes, that is the goal. So actually, now I've lost sight of it. I saw Wonder on the horizon a minute ago, just to the left of the buoy. Let me see from your angle. Hang on, I'm stepping away from the camera and hoping the wind doesn't blow it over. Oops. The green buoy or the? Oh yeah, I see that. There we go. Yeah, she's the light, the angle of the light. She doesn't stand out like she did before. So yes, we are hanging out for Wonder of the Seas as she sails in. Wonder of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship, brand new ship to Royal Caribbean, the 5th Oasis class ship. So she's going to be sailing out in front of us here shortly, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fanfare for that sail-in. What's the latest on cruising to Puerto Rico? I haven't booked anything for that port on Wonder's inaugural cruise. So Puerto Rico, they have some specific requirements for traveling there, but the cruise line will take care of all that for you. Nothing to sweat there. Personally, when I go to San Juan, I just like taking a cab up to the top, like by El Morro. Go visit the fort if you want. It's really cool to walk around. It's a historic site, and if you get a ticket there, you can also get into other forts in the area. But then walk down because the old city is built on a hill. So if you start at the fort, you can make your way down, and there are so many great restaurants and little shops. It's just a beautiful architecture, and it's a pretty city to walk through. Very safe and convenient. And the ship docks when you visit as a port of call. Docks right there in the old town. So it's so then when you're at the bottom, you're back at your ship. Are there restaurants close to the beach? I'm currently, I would love to sit on the patio and watch ships leave. Sort of. So within the park here, there's actually a restaurant. Let me switch this around. There's actually a restaurant just over kind of that way. Not that you can see that way. You don't get a great view of the ships from there, though. Now, across the channel here, Strand River, which is the entrance to the port, there's a bunch of restaurants right along the beach, and you can see the ships as they sail up. They're not going to get super close to you, but you will see them once they get out past like that first or second buoy. A lot of options on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and it's a fun place to hang out. It's a little further away than you might want to watch ships from, but I highly recommend Primanti Brothers. Unless you're from Pittsburgh, then you're sick of it. But I love Primanti Brothers, so you can check that out while here. Let's see. Josh is going to be on. Josh, you're going to be on the 4th. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing you there. Nick from Connecticut. Hello. Travis. Hello. So many folks. I'm way behind here. Poor webcam is down. Must have crashed with all the viewers, like my internet connection did earlier today. Yeah, I understand. Joey did a 14-day med on the Vista maiden voyage. Oh, I forgot that Vista did some meds beforehand. That was a neat ship. I toured her a while back. You see Wonder from Fort Lauderdale webcam. Yeah, I can see like she's like a ghost-like silhouette. And you know what else I noticed is there's one of the larger tugs is going out there. She's almost to the first sea buoy after the jetty, and I'm guessing that's going to shoot a water cannon. Brandon, a young guy like me takes a cab to the fort, an old guy walks. I mean, one, I just like to save time. If I start with a cab at the top, then I can spend all my time just enjoying on the way down. Also enjoying progressively more drinks as I walk down back toward the port in the old city. Linda, I will work on speaking slower. My apologies for trying to get through all the questions. Let's see. Debbie, going to be on the Wonder inaugural. So many friends are going to be on there. I'm very excited to hang out with everyone. Raymond looks like the guy who cruises Virgin Voyages. Even one of the shirts that I wear for occasionally on the Scarlet Night, right? Looking forward to being back on Virgin Voyages for the group cruise. If you want to hang out with us, July of this year, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. We're going to have some really special things. Still waiting to have bottom line signed on a couple things to make it public, but just know there are going to be some exclusive events, some things you cannot do if you're not in the group. And I don't mean like, because, we won't invite you. I mean things you won't find on the ship's schedule, things that aren't made available to other cruisers. So it's going to be really cool, and we'd love to have you join us. Check out virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com for more information. Cody, Infinity is moving out now. Oh, I hear somebody talking to Wonder on the radio. Who is that?
On this side. So we are coming go at the heading of 100.
The Sport Craze. You're watching multiple streams at the time. I've done that at home where I just have on like a 60-inch television all the different streams, or on multiple monitors. You'll be sailing Kids Plan. You'll be sailing Wonder second sailing First time on Oasis class. First one was first time. Oh, first cruise was okay. Gotcha. So you know, who knows? Maybe I'll end up like spontaneously booking a back-to-back, and I'll see you there. Don't know. Wow, this spammer is really persistent. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry.
Looking forward to getting busy again.
Ah.
Hope everything's going well over there. It's nice to hear your voice.
So many spammers. Sorry, guys, trying to manage this.
Very well.
We'll spin this around as soon as Wanderer gets closer. Cruising with JT. Yes, I am on the Wonder inaugural. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to Wonder getting close enough that we can see her on camera.
Okay. Yeah, there's progress.
I just heard it's one of the officers on Wonder talking about people on board being excited to see land and get off the ship for a little while. You'll be on Larry. You'll be on Wonder's first transatlantic. It's crew. Yeah, there are no revenue guests on until the March 4th sailing. There's I think there's an employee sailing just before that. Cruising with JT, you're looking forward to meeting myself, Matt, and others. Don't get your hopes up about Matt. I mean, he's all right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Matt.
Okay.
Mike, I'm actually revenue on the inaugural. I don't think anyone's got one yet. Maybe a photo finish. We'll see. Steven, I can actually, you know what? Let me flip it around because it looks like she's finally coming into view now. Before, I don't think the camera would have picked her up, but now Wonder's getting close enough that.
Yeah, March 4th.
I can't zoom because of how I'm simulcasting this, but if you see the white dot in the center of the screen on the horizon, that is Wonder of the Seas. I don't know why she said an angle. Yeah, looks like she'll be here soon. MFP. Can't wait for Wonder. Oops, what am I doing? Can't wait for Wonder. Watching on the 60-inch TV. Hopefully, feet up, drink in hand, and with the baby sleeping. Hope all is well. Looking forward to seeing you sometime soon. I hope. Bob, you'd be on. Oh, you mean you'll be in South Florida on the 11th? I was like, you'd be on Wonder on the 11th? Where are you picking? Or no? I don't even remember dates anymore. Sorry. I'm trying to listen on the radio and think of a calendar in my head at the same time. And as you guys can see, it's not going particularly well for me. So Wonder of the Seas, that's that white dot you see in the center of the screen. She's going to be pulling in. She's scheduled to pull in at 6. I suspect it'll be just a couple minutes later than that. We're expecting lots of fanfare. We've got some company ships that have just left. Odyssey of the Seas, watched her sail out. Watched Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Equinox, other company ships. Infinity is in port and on the move, from what you guys have told me. Oh, there's Emily saying on the way out. Yeah. Okay, Bob, on Wonder on the 11th. Yeah, I forgot what day I was sailing Wonder apparently. So that was not. I need a personal assistant here, Brandon. Brandon, get over here. Guys, thank you so much for joining. If this is your first time joining, I'm Bill from cruisehabit.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for live broadcasts from ship and shore. We've got reviews of ships, tours, cabin tours, cruise news, other information, plus stuff over on the website at cruisehabit.com. If you'd subscribe, it would mean the world to me. It's a labor of love. Recently over on cruisehabit.com, we put out some new articles about a couple things. One, a review of our go-to hotel over by Port Canaveral. So if you're sailing from Port Canaveral, you can check out the Hilton Cocoa Beach Oceanfront. I keep screwing up the word order of the name, but check that out on the site. We also have a couple posts about protocols because protocols have been changing, COVID protocols on board. including pretty much all cruise lines dropping mask requirements for fully vaccinated guests over the next like 2 weeks. And I know that's exciting to a lot of people, but there are some other adjustments too in terms of testing. However, you should temper your expectations if you think there's going to be changes, more significant changes to testing or vaccine changes. That's not likely, and we talk about why over at cruisehabit.com. Are there industry inaugurals? Not that I've been informed of. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I thought yeah, I don't know. Or there's some people that live there, because a lot of time that happens.
We tried to go there once.
Yeah, I'm here talking with Enith, and we're talking about over on the what I refer to as the beach side, so across the waterway right there. It's a really beautiful place to watch ships. However, there's a parking lot for like 12 cars, and you say, oh, well, just go to the next closest. Well, the next closest one's like a mile and a half away. There are no bathrooms. You walk like a half mile in the sand. So it's great views. It's real inconvenient. But if you live in those buildings, then I guess what I'm trying to say is call me. Let's hang out. Raquel, what I'm realizing is that you guys are all very helpful in chat, but it's specifically Brandon, because I need him to open my beer. Brandon says Infinity's in the basin, moving slow. You know what? I see her now looking over my shoulder, so we'll turn the camera around over there. Danny and I were stalking each other during the return to cruising. We kept getting on different ships and seeing each other. It happened on like 4 different ships, back to back to back. All right, so there's evidently one last cruise ship leaving Port Everglades today, and that is Celebrity Infinity. Celebrity Infinity is the last cruise ship that I was on before the industry shut down. We're on actually a 2-night cruise on Infinity. It was kind of a weird. Oh, sure, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, guys, I have a new favorite. Ian's just handed me hot chocolate. I appreciate that a bunch. There is Mike, there's an employee shakedown like the week before. However, I have not heard of anyone but employees that have been invited. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. Larry, you were going to drive down from Del Rey, but now you see the jetty's closed. Larry, you watch how close you can still get. I mean, the jetty's been closed for years, and it's probably going to be closed for more years, unfortunately. But as you can see, you can still get really close, and it's lovely out. I actually live right on the Del Rey Boca border, northeast Boca. So there's Celebrity Infinity, and I'm actually a big fan of that class of ship, Millennium class ship. Celebrity Millennium was the first ship to return to service in the Caribbean. We sailed her June 5th out of St. Martin. So that was a sister ship to this. Celebrity Infinity. I didn't realize that we're going to get to see her today. So that's pretty cool. March 2nd, you'll be on the shakedown. Christina, are you an RCG employee? Because the only people I know on it are RCG employees, but maybe I just didn't make the cut when it came to the invites. I think it's just crew. Cruising with JT shared the live stream link on the inaugural page, Facebook and Instagram. Thank you. I appreciate you guys sharing. Listen, that is the one thing. If everyone here can do, Cruise Habit is a labor of love. The website, the YouTube channel, social media, all that, it is a labor of love. So it would mean the world to me if there's any content you like, whether it's this stream or anything else. If you can share with somebody somebody else that'll like the content. It makes me I can't appreciate all of you enough for being here. Matt Hodgberg is here. Oop, as I click on the wrong person. Matt Hodgberg is here. I will be seeing Matt in just a week and a half for Wonder, and I'll tell you, I know almost everyone here can relate. One of the best things, if you cruise a lot, one of the best things about returning to cruising is not just being at sea, but getting to see your friends that you didn't get to see for a long time. So I've got to see Matt a couple times now since COVID, but it's always good to be reunited with folks that, you know, as travel was shut down, we didn't get to hang out with. So very excited to see you soon, Matt, and I'm sure you are also excited to see Larissa. Wonder of the Seas looking good on the distance. Yeah, I almost feel like she's well, this is an aviation term, doesn't really apply to, but it almost seems like she's crabbing because she seems to be getting closer, but I can also see her sideways. So I don't know how that would burn a lot of gas trying to bring a ship in that way. I don't know. Betty, so are you on Odyssey right now and talking to Matt, who is on Independence, while watching my stream on land? I feel very left out. This is the longest I've been on land since June 5th, and now it's just everybody else on a ship but Billy. Woe is me, right? Man, yeah, pretty decent crowd. I tell you what, we'll spin the camera around because there are a lot of folks out here. I suspect there's Ina to see Wonder of the Seas as she sails in, and to take some photos. Some folks on the far side there as well. This is a dangerous dance. I feel like I'm going to trip over my tripod, and we're going to watch this go south real quickly. And it's a lovely day. It's not too hot, not too cold. This is perfect. If this would have happened yesterday, it would have been problematic. It would have been like, so Matt invited me to cruise with him on the inaugural Harmony sailing. And it was rainy and windy and cold, and I didn't get to go because I had a fever, and I stood out on that jetty and felt like garbage. So this is a way better day. Shipfax, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Guys, please make sure you subscribe to the Cruise Habit YouTube channel. Love talking ship with all of you, whether it's from land or sea. We've got lots of videos on the YouTube channel and more to come. We're going to be on Wonder of the Seas on her maiden voyage, and it'll be exciting to share that with you guys live as well. I'm sure we'll do a ship tour later on. Larry, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that a whole bunch. Christine, so it is just shoreside employees? Okay, that makes sense. Trying to keep up with the scrolling. Amy, I don't. I don't think Infinity is sailing with passengers yet. She starts soon. I should know when. If Annette's still in here, she probably knows. But she's not sailing with guests yet. Other Millennium class ships are, including, like I said, Millennium, Celebrity Millennium. She was the very first ship back, and man, has a special place in my heart forever now. Bob Stanley. Okay, that's kind of what I suspected because I saw what Odyssey was doing. I saw what Equinox was doing. Their position, so it makes sense. They're taking some pictures before they bring her in. Cruising with JT. I'm so glad that I'm able to be live. I'm so glad the weather worked out. It is absolutely a historic day. I mean, Wonder of the Seas, you know, it's a big deal for a lot of reasons. Yes, Royal Caribbean has been great. Their marketing team always makes sure that the next Oasis class ship is, you know, 7 millimeters larger than the last. But Wonder is really different. It's not only is it, you know, a more significant difference in terms of size, but she has some new things, and I feel like represents kind of a much improved incarnation of the Oasis class ships, and bringing a lot of the best together. Pedro, I'm not a licensed pilot. I have a number of hours. I've wanted to get licensed. I never finished. So I have some ground school under my belt, and I have some hours, but I'm not a pilot. Your brother works for Silversea and will be on the Shakedown. I've never done Silversea. That's another one. I love small ship sailing. So who knows? Maybe we'll do a Silversea one day. Mike from Affluent Journeys with the update on the Daytona 500, taking Brandon's place there. I used to be a racetrack firefighter. I know nothing about racing, except how to cut people out of the cars. Wonder and Odyssey getting that photo op right next to each other. George, hello in Greece. Very curious to hear about the Suite experience, and the new Suite deck on Wonder seems like it could be a nice game changer. Yeah, it's, this makes a lot of sense to me. The new Suite experience. In fact, there's a whole new neighborhood for suites, because the industry has gone towards a ship and a ship experience, or at very least in the case of like Celebrity and some others, including more for suites, making it more than just a stateroom. And Oasis class ships had done that in the past, but not to the degree that we're seeing on Wonder. And I think that's a great thing, because you know what, we can't all stay in suites. I usually don't. It's been a nice year for me in terms of that, but that's just luck. I usually don't stay in suites, but when you look at the prices, the rooms are nice. You want something more, so it's good that they're able to offer that, and I'm excited to see what that's like. Oi, Patricia, in Brazil. Am I able to say? Are you excited to sample all of the kale? So are they going to have a kale martini like they did on like they do at the Grand Plaza, the Martini Bar on Ed Series ships? Maybe. I'm sure you'll have it with me. We'll do a live stream together. One of the greatest forces in cruising social media and me. We'll taste that together. That's the way that's going to work. Steve, thank you for watching in Tampa. Tampa, the city that calls itself South Florida, and I don't understand how that works geographically, but I like Tampa.
Think we're gonna make it? Get chased away?
What do I know about the owner suite on Wonder? I actually don't know anything about the owner suite on Wonder. I'm not sure. Matt from Royal Caribbean Blog, he may have a good idea. Let's see. Did I say we'll be doing a live tour on ship? If so, when? William. So I think a lot of my live video will be on the weekend. So March 5th, 5th and 6th. That's when, if you're looking for live video, you'll see most of it. Hello.
Excuse me, sir. Are you Matt Hotchberg?
That guy. Screw that guy.
I was set up.
You were set up by who?
Matt Hotchberg.
Matt? Who are you?
Yes.
Who? No.
Oh, I'm Dawn.
Oh, you're Dawn.
Also Crazy Cat Lady.
Awesome. Pleasure, Dawn.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice to meet you after calling and just that look of disappointed when I said I'm not Matt. So Infinity's turning sideways. Let's see. Matt, I'm no longer buying you that drink that you don't need because of your drink package. Yeah, I'm seeing Infinity's turning to the south so early. I wonder if Infinity's trying to stay out of the picture. Dawn, Kathy says hi. Everyone wants to be nice to you now that you've did that.
You're on the maiden voyage?
Yeah. Larry, I'm talking too slow to be Matt. I was talking too quickly before. Somebody asked me to slow down. I'm trying to slow down while trying to stay up to date with comments. I know it's tricky. Matt has less hair. How did Dawn Matt mess that up? Oh, you know what? That's a great question. Who said that? Steve Cohen. Thank you. That's fantastic. Ingrid, hello in the Netherlands. We have the Netherlands, we have Utah, we have Brazil, with Greece. Is Wonder arriving now? Who's that? Bruno Oliveira. Wonder is the white dot on the horizon just to the right of that cargo vessel. So they're taking care of some photos with Odyssey, and then Infinity. I don't know if Infinity's there for pictures or trying to get out of the way of pictures. And then Wonder is coming in. So she's scheduled to come in at 6, but we'll see in Scotland, Oviedo, Toronto. Hello, everyone. Rarely do you hear like Toronto, Scotland, Oviedo. I mean, like Oviedo's For those of you who don't know, Oviedo certainly is a place. Does Uber Eats deliver to the park? Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I wonder, is it like, you remember back in the day, Domino's, they'd say, oh, they'll deliver anywhere. I wonder if you could get Uber Eats to come to the park. I'm sure you'd have to cover the $4 they charge the driver to get in. Dieter in Germany, hello. Travis in Iowa, hello. Odyssey looks like it's catching up to Wonder. Yeah, it's always remarkable to me the coordination that's required to get these pictures of multiple ships lining up. We saw this when there were some awesome opportunities for this on Celebrity Edge. We're on the very first sailing to resume out of the U.S. In late June. And I remember standing up on the retreat sun deck, the suite area all the way forward, and with several celebrity ships all around us, and a Royal Caribbean ship also, I believe. And they spun just in perfect coordination. It was absolutely gorgeous, and the coordination that it requires is remarkable. Shipfax, please, by all means, share any of my content you'd like, anytime you'd like. I appreciate it. Matt would never swim for pizza because there could be fish in the water, and he's scared of fish. Actual facts. Cody, Anchorage is to the north of the inlet. I don't think ships are actually allowed to anchor where Infinity is right now, or at least maybe that far out they are, because there's a naval testing area. Unless I could be mistaken. Maybe there's some other area, perhaps. You're on Regal Princess, wanting to catch first glimpse of Wonder. Where is Regal today? I don't have my map open to see. Guys, thank you everyone for joining. My name is Bill from cruisehabit.com. We're out here at Dr. Von de Mizzle Eula Johnson State Park, just outside of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we're waiting for Wonder of the Seas to arrive. I'll flip the camera back around in just a moment, but she is not just on the horizon. She's getting awfully close. They're just taking care of some pictures with some company ships, some other Royal Caribbean, and maybe even celebrity ships. We'll see. Wonder of the Seas is the world's largest cruise ship. She's also the newest cruise ship from Royal Caribbean. We're going to be on her maiden voyage March 4th, so we'll be covering that live for you. So make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, following along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And check out cruisehabit.com. We want to show you guys what Wonder of the Seas is like when we're on board. We've got other ship tours, coverage, news, information, cruise tips, and more, whether it's your first cruise or your 400th cruise. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments. I'm trying to keep up on the comments in this video, but of course, we can always we'll always answer your questions on social media and the comments over at cruisehabit.com. Who's taking pictures of ships other than you? Jasmine, there are all sorts of folks that are out here enjoying some actually really nice weather here today, and waiting excitedly for Wonder of the Seas to pull right in front of us. Wayne, hello, my friend. Archie, yeah, so usually I use an app called Marine Traffic, but there are a number of them out there, and in fact, I actually contribute to them. So the way that those apps work is they need land-based stations to pick up the telemetry information from ships and send that information to their sites. So I actually have a rig that does that when I'm on ships sometimes, because when they're in the middle of nowhere, there are no stations to pick it up. Is it a pet tribble? You mean a pet gerbil? Yes. So, Brandon, the fuzz keeps the wind noise out. Samuel, am I going on Wonder of the Seas anytime soon? Yes, we'll be on the maiden voyage March 4th, so just a little over a week and a half. Jasmine, Odyssey was, but we're here to watch Wonder, which is the newest ship. Kimmy,
are coming down there.
Hang on one sec.
It's going to get crowded here in a little while. Would it be okay for you to turn a little bit and give us some sea room here? Maybe if you could turn a
Sorry, I
little
was just listening to some coordination with the harbor master. Apologies.
Thanks. I have to switch back. Thanks.
Sorry. I didn't even hear them talking about that. I just heard them because they were there was a life jacket in the water in the port. So I think they were making sure there was not a person associated with that life jacket. So that's what I was. I'm guessing that, well, I don't know. I don't know what they're setting up. I guess we'll find out. Have I ever been on Symphony or Harmony? I have been on both Symphony and Harmony of the Seas. In fact, earlier today, I was wearing my Symphony of the Seas inaugural shirt. And you know why I didn't? It's gray, and I thought it was going to be hot out, and I didn't want to be the weird guy on live video with sweat stains. Turns out it's actually lovely. PTZ TV is back up, but you guys can stay here because we are going to have Wonder of the Seas right in front of us, talking ship and answering your questions as she pulls in very shortly. When do I think Royal Caribbean will release Icon class renderings? I think that once we have Wonder of the Seas with guests on it, I think they're going to start to be a lot more forthcoming with Icon class. You don't want to cannibalize attention. Usually cruise lines focus on one deployment or even one class of ship at a time. Royal Caribbean's a little bit different that way because they have simultaneous classes, ships and classes being released. But I suspect we'll see more Icon class stuff in the near future. I'm excited because some of the things they surveyed about Icon class were interesting concepts and some things very new to Royal Caribbean. Wonder of the Seas sailing right by this view is going to be epic. Yes, Wonder of the Seas. We're going to be within, I don't know, probably 300 feet or so of Wonder when she comes into the channel. Do you need to be vaccinated to go on a cruise? Generally speaking, yes. Unless you're under 5 years old, you need to be vaccinated in order to cruise. There are certain exceptions and timing things, but generally speaking, yes. There's also testing requirements for cruising and all these protocols that are constantly evolving, especially lately. We were just talking about this over on cruisehabit.com and here on the stream earlier. All these evolving protocols are what has kept cruising operating safely and successfully without significant interruptions to operation. In fact, Jason Liberty, Royal Caribbean Group CEO, said a few weeks ago that they had, across their 3 brands, had carried about 1.3 million passengers with around 2,500 positive cases. That's a positivity rate of 0.19%. To give you an idea, last week on land, we had a positivity rate of 9.9%, and that was the lowest since July. So yes, you do need to be vaccinated, and cruising is genuinely safer than going out on land. Let's see. If I know Dan and Matt are by first name only, does that mean you watch too many cruise YouTube videos? Going on Wonder honeymoon in September. September, I might be doing a very different kind of cruise. Maybe we'll watch each other. Yes. It's funny going on some of these, especially inaugural voyages and stuff like that, getting to know some of these folks like Matt, who I've known since long before this, and realizing, he's not all what he's cracked up to be. I kid. Trying to catch up. I've got a lot of comments here. Apologies. Wonder is pointed north. She's in no hurry to get into port. Yeah, it's funny. I still see, it looks like she's pointed like northwest maybe, or is she due north? Hopefully that changes soon. Is that Wonder in the middle of the screen? Yes, that is Wonder approximately in the middle of the screen. What's the best possible Oasis class amenity? So I really like Oasis class solariums. I'll tell you, that's something that I enjoy a lot. My favorite thing, interestingly, about Oasis class ships, however, beyond the fact that they truly offer something for everyone, is actually that despite being the largest ships, the largest cruise ships, they're, in my opinion, the easiest to get around. They're very thoughtfully laid out, and the neighborhood concept works really well to make it so that when you get on one of these giant Oasis class ships, you just intuitively know where everything is, and I love that. Oops, Changing, hang on. Matt, gotta head to Chops for dinner. You'll catch the highlight reel after. Thanks for the live stream. Matt, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Enjoy Chops. Matt's on Independence of the Seas. Check out his live blog at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Appreciate you hanging out and look forward to seeing you on Wonder of the Seas soon. What do I think is better, Royal Caribbean or Carnival? It depends on what you're looking for. Listen, I've been on 15 cruise lines so far, and I truly believe that none of them are better than the others. It depends on what you're looking for out of your cruise experience. You know, when you cruise, when you look at the cruise industry, when you look at the idea of cruising, what are things that attract you to cruising? What are things you wish were different? You have to look at those things to figure out the right line for you and the right line for your trip, right? Even as an individual, I don't necessarily have a favorite cruise line because it depends. Am I going with a bunch of friends, have a good time in the Caribbean, or is it just my spouse and I looking to see some new places in the Mediterranean? Those are very different types of cruises. I truly believe every line has something that they do better than any of the others. I talk a lot about this. I have an article over on cruisehabit.com that helps you helps you understand the different types of cruise lines that are out there, so you can pick the right line for you. Let's see. Looks like the pilot is boarding Wonder. If you zoom to the right level on marine traffic, okay, that would be good. That means because the pilot's not going to want to hang out while they're playing around too long, or should I say, Royal Caribbean isn't going to want to pay the pilot for that extra time. Because here's an interesting thing, guys. Pilots, depending on the port, pilots can bring in $250,000 a year. Those are hardworking people with a lot of expertise. So trust me, once the pilot's on board, they probably are going to want to get that pilot in.
Come up 2 miles east of Cebu, you're going to follow Wonder of the Seas into the sand. But
So they have a pilot that's getting ready to get to another vessel that's going to be coming in after Wonder. So they said to be ready to follow Wonder in. So hopefully that's a good sign. Wonder's doing donuts at the moment. Yeah, they do that for videos. What's a cruise line I haven't been on that I want to go on? That's a great question. I mean, really, you know what? This is not a cop-out. Well, maybe it is, but all of them. There's not a cruise line that I don't want to go on. I'll tell you something I've wanted to do for a while now. I would like to do a line that does not focus on the North American market. Like, I'd like to try AIDA or TUI because I think it'd be kind of neat to be a bit of a fish out of water. I don't speak German. Those are German cruise lines. I think it'd be neat to be a fish out of water on a cruise. So that's something I would like to do. But I'd also like to do some more of the small ship lines. I'd like to do regional. I'd like to do a Windjammer. Man, I want to do all of the cruises. Let's see. Well, this, the sunset, that's actually a problem in terms of, because once the sun sets, technically this park closes. So hopefully they bring Wonder in pretty quickly, or the park rangers become extremely forgiving with everyone here today. We'll see how that happens. There's a Mars ship just past Wonder. Okay, so that's probably the one that's coming in after Wonder. Pilot is on board, says Cruise News Every Day. Thank you very much. Brandon, have I done MSC? I want to try them. Yes, Brandon, I've done 2 MSC cruises. I've done MSC Seaside and I've done MSC Meraviglia. I think I like, as a ship, I think I like Seaside more. Meraviglia was lovely, nothing against it. MSC is interesting. There are certain things they do really well. I think their ships are absolutely gorgeous. Food can be hit or miss on MSC. I've had things that I really liked. I've had things that didn't do it for me. One nice thing is MSC, if you want to try their yacht club, their ship and a ship experience, the rates there are sometimes extremely compelling. And they do that very well. In fact, they do that so well that MSC is launching a new cruise line, a new small ship cruise line. Yeah, sorry about the spammer. I'm trying to catch up in all the comments, and unfortunately, I'm not able to make it. I wonder, let me try from my phone. If I log in, can I make someone a mod? Because I'm using a different streaming platform right now, and that's what makes that tricky. But I'm gonna try and log into my own broadcast here and see what happens. Sunset's supposed to be at 6:17, so we're already there. All right. Let's see. What shows will be on Wonder? I actually have a list of the shows. So there's a couple things. One, there's the new version of the Effectors show, which we wrote about because we got to enjoy that on Odyssey of the Seas. So they're going to have Effectors 2, Crash and Burn. There's also going to be Intense. That's the Aqua Theater show. 365, The Seasons on Ice. That'll be in Studio B. Voices, which is a is that I think yes, that's the main theater show that isn't Effectors. So that's just a couple things. They have Music Hall on Wonder, and I really enjoy Music Hall on Odyssey. And they're claiming that on Wonder they're going to have a different, or they're going to have a tribute band every night. So that'll be neat. James, hello in Norway. Norway is actually my very favorite place to cruise. My favorite cruise destination. Been to several places in Norway. Thank you for joining. No one ever invites Brandon on MSC. I feel like there must be a story there. Guys, yeah, thank you. JT, I appreciate it. If you are watching, do me a favor, make sure you like, subscribe. We love bringing you guys cruise content. We do ship tours. We do reviews, cabin tours, live videos from cruise ships. We spent 66 nights at sea so far since the return of cruising in June of 2021. And we'd love to show you more. So please like and subscribe, follow along on social media, check out cruisehabit.com. Larry, do I think the key is worth it? Generally, no. However, look at what the key offers, and if those things mean a lot to you, then go for it. You know, if you say, well, I really want to be able to make sure I have some time that I'm the first in line for the rock wall or whatever. If those specific things are big for you, then great. Now, the other part is because I think they're still including internet. If they are still including internet with it, I know that was a thing for a while. Then it really brings down the price of the key. So that's a consideration as well. You said the park will be closing 6:15, 6:30. We'll see what they'll do. There are a lot of folks out here, and the port told everyone to come out here. So we'll see what happens. Do I plan on being on the, watching from Oregon? Hello in Oregon. Somebody asked, sorry. Do I plan on being on the first Icon class? Listen, we're still so far out. I would love to be on the first of all of these. So we'll have to see. Time will tell. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Always like when people share my content. It means the world to me. This is a labor of love for me. So thank you very, very much. You wish you could be on Wonder, but you're doing an Alaskan cruise. I swore that I was going to do Alaska again this year, and I didn't. At least not yet. Who knows? You know, anything could happen between now and tomorrow. I've booked cruises with like 3 days notice before, but I do enjoy sailing Alaska. Wonder has turned and is heading to port now. Thank you. Hello in Ireland. Thanks for joining us. So $7 per day difference, $7 difference, yeah, between key and internet when it's on sale. Cruising with Carol, this new vlogger, can't wait to meet you on the inaugural. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone else. Make sure, guys, if you're on the inaugural or anytime you see me, please hang out, stop in and say hi. It would make me very happy. Oh, Port Everglades is broadcasting. Oh, from the pilot. Is that where they are? Oh, very cool. Is it better to be on a maiden voyage or a few months after, well, the kinks, or a few months after when the kinks are worked out? That's a great question. I wrote an article about this back when Celebrity Edge first came out. I don't know. You have to have reasonable expectations. And what I mean is that if you go on an inaugural, you have to know that there's a chance that it's not going to work out. You have to know that if you're booked on an inaugural, there's a chance that things could be delayed. There's a chance. So just keep that in mind. So there's a chance that the sailing could be delayed. There's a chance that some venue couldn't be open already. There's a chance that some show couldn't be ready. Now, is it a bad idea to book an inaugural? No, as long as you understand that it may or may not be prime time ready, then you're okay. But it's good to keep that in mind. Hoping to sail on Wonder later this year in Europe. You don't get big ships where you leave. Where you live. Listen, large ships aren't everything. I know we're here to watch the largest ship sail in, but I often enjoy much smaller vessels. All right, someone was going to say it. Fair enough. Titanic swim team. All right, sorry, unmuted, back. Hello, you had Vision of the Seas booked for 10 nights next week, but it got canceled. Hope it all comes back to normal pretty soon. Thanks for streaming. Interesting. I wonder why that one's canceled, because I remember there are cancellations. I feel like there's three types of cancellations that can happen, right? There's COVID cancellations, and those I think are largely behind us. The last few of those we had were, in like December and January. Then there's cancellations that are related to COVID, but on the periphery, right? They're tangentially related to COVID just because of logistics reasons. Then there's the fact that sometimes cancellations happen because maintenance or other things, just for the same reason they always have. And it's always a bummer when that happens. Never fun when you're booked, but cruise lines generally do a pretty good job of trying to make it right. What class of ship is Wonder? Wonder is an Oasis class ship. It's an Oasis class ship, but it's a different Oasis class ship. John, Naughal's exciting, but no matter how it goes, more excited to see cruise with me and see so many friends. Listen, I'm excited to sail with friends. That's always an exciting time. And in fact, if you want to sail with us, not only could you join us on Wonder of the Seas, if there's still space available, I don't even know, but we'd love to have you join us on the next Cruise Habit group cruise. We just had a great group cruise on Celebrity Apex about a month and a half ago, and that was a wonderful time. All sorts of value adds and extras in there. But we've got Virgin Voyages Group Cruise on Scarlet Lady coming up in July. Check out virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. Soon we'll be announcing even more value adds and special events. There's going to be some special stuff. I'm sorry, I keep walking in front of you. There's going to be some special events that you simply can't experience any other way. I'd love for you guys to sail with us, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. I will be doing a ship tour. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing live videos while we're on board Wonder of the Seas starting March 4th. And then once we get back from that cruise, then we'll be editing and putting together a full ship tour. Mardi Gras is fantastic. I loved checking out Mardi Gras for the day a couple times, actually, when she was in Port Canaveral. And looking forward to sailing her at some point. She was a really cool ship, and I think really ups the game for the whole industry, not just for Carnival. Jasmine, when you first clicked the stream, you thought I was talking about Disney Wonder. Listen, so many ships, so many lines use ship names that other lines use. It is confusing for me too. You have the Wonder, and then you have the Magic and the Dream. Yeah, it can be tricky. Hello in the Philippines. Your husband's on board Wonder of the Seas. Well, I'm glad you're here tuning in. I hope you guys get to be reunited soon. Thank you so much. So, Vlad, I actually have another article over on Cruise Habit, and I think it's called something like inaugural by a sailing by any other name or something like that. Because I talk about like what is an inaugural voyage, what is a maiden voyage. You have like an inaugural season, and you could have an inaugural season like for when a ship first sails out of the Med, and then another inaugural season for its inaugural Caribbean um, uh, itineraries. And then you have maiden voyage is usually considered the first, but it's usually the first revenue sailing, so there could be non-revenue sailing. So yeah, the naming gets mushy. I've been on Vista for the day. I haven't sailed Vista yet, but Vista is pretty cool. So what's interesting, the Vista class ships and then Mardi Gras, they came about. They were the first ships from Carnival that were designed by new designers. So they have a totally different feel than all of the other Carnival ships, since literally the very first. Bruno, in my opinion, what cruise company has the best food? Very much in my opinion, because you know, food is highly subjective. But I would say I'll give my top three in the different ways for like for formal meals. I would say Cunard and the Grills. For absolute just top-notch attention to detail and exquisite cuisine, I would say Oceania. And I would say for offering a totally different dining experience that is comfortable with food that is really, truly excellent, I would say Virgin Voyages. I think those are the top three, but there's a lot of good food out there. And again, very subjective. So I don't know what the temperature out here is right now, but I'm going to do something that everyone on the internet is going to make fun of me for, and I'm going to take a moment to put on a jacket. Because yes, we're in South Florida, but man, when you stand out in the wind in short sleeve shirt for hours, it gets interesting. Watching from Callie, watching from North Carolina next through Celebrity Beyond, the ship is present. We're going to be on beyond the end of this year. Stay tuned. We're going to have some news about that. If you want to join us on Celebrity Beyond, we'll be announcing that soon. So who knows? Maybe we'll see you on Beyond. We just got off Apex, and we love Edge. Edge series ships are absolutely wonderful. Let's see, Brandon. You have to take Bill's opinion with a little skepticism. I don't eat just kale. Brandon. Solo Traveler UK, thank you for joining. Oops. The comments are coming so fast, I tap on them to show them, and they're already gone. Thank you. Please do subscribe. We broadcast both live from ship and shore, and we do review videos and tours of ships. We talk about cruise news. We're talking about all the protocol changes earlier today. So please subscribe and check us out next time. By the way, North Carolina, usually I spend a lot of time, I haven't recently, but a lot of time in Maggie Valley. So if you ever see a guy walking around the Asheville area who looks like a cruise blogger, come say hi. You consider maiden voyage be the first time anyone not directly associated with that line gets on the ship. You know what? I think that's a fair description, Jasmine. And yeah, first revenue cruise, you know, because you could say, well, media kind of associated. I don't know. All right, I got a jacket on. It is breezy, but lovely out here. Wonder is on her way, and in fact, the light that you see on your screen, right there, that is Wonder. She has a pilot on board now. She's on her way in, so we'll be seeing her in a matter of moments, right out in front of us. I just realized I zipped my jacket over my microphone. I hope you guys were able to hear me there without it being too muffled. Let's move that. All right. What do I think? What do I think of Carnival cruises compared to Royal Caribbean cruises? Carnival is really good at keeping things lively. That's what they do, right? Is they keep it lively, and they offer a slightly more traditional experience. I'll tell you that I think Mardi Gras is a game changer for them, for the industry, and for them. And that ship's, I think, going to make everyone need to really stay on their game.
You know who's taking the video that I'm watching? It just came up on my camera. I didn't go looking for it.
Let me see.
I don't know what site it is. It just came
What's it say
up.
up there at the top?
Port Everglades is live now. So it is Port
So,
Everglades.
so it's, yeah, it's probably one of the pilots, I'm guessing. Sorry, I was just looking at another feed over here. You be on the ship for the inaugural? Well, come say hi to us. Glenn, they kicked up speed 13 knots. Fantastic. So we'll see her in just a moment, and then I will oddly maybe turn the heat on in my car. Having trouble scrolling. I have like salt. When the salt air gets all over your fingers, all of a sudden you can't. It's humid and you can't touch the screen right. There we go. Uh, you disagree? Odyssey is a game changer, not Mardi Gras. Listen, I loved Odyssey. She quickly became my favorite Royal Caribbean ship. That's why we sailed her twice. Mardi Gras is doing some things very different from any ship out there. Just the atrium concept alone on Mardi Gras is something that I think we will see other lines learn from. But other things as well, like the fact that Mardi Gras has so many small venues rather than much larger venues. That, you know, as long as all those venues are successful, that spreads crowds out and it gives guests a wider variety of things to enjoy. And that's one of the things that I found really appealing about Mardi Gras. NCL, their brand identity for a long time was freestyle cruising, and still is. However, a lot of lines have moved to that with anytime dining, my time dining, whatever you want to call it. We just did an article about, like, do I have to dine with other people? It's over one of the top articles on cruisehabit.com right now. And, you know, now it kind of doesn't matter. Like, you know, all lines offer that type of thing. So they don't differentiate in that way as much, but what they do at NCL is have a really wide variety of options, and they try and flatten things because they so often include some level of specialty dining and drinks. It just makes so you have a wider variety of things that, rather than stuff feeling like it's off limits. Katie, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. Jasmine, do I think there'll be? I don't think there'll be fireworks, but I think we'll probably see an interesting escort on the way in. No Viking Crown Lounge on Odyssey. That's true. I do like a Viking Crown Lounge. Such a beautiful perspective. Listen, all of these ships have pushed, Jasmine. You know, pushed the industry forward. Edge did a lot of new things, and it's all, you know, game changers and something that happens once, right? It's what are the things that, if you imagine a concept, an industry as like a bubble, what are the things that push that bubble out, like a dimple on that bubble, to push it out just a little bit further, make everyone want to push the rest of that bubble out. So temperature, let me look up what the actual temperature is right now, and then you guys will make fun of me. I'm telling you, part of the problem is that it's just when it's windy and humid and you stand out here for hours, it just takes it out of you. I remember when I was a lifeguard, that happening sometimes. In this area, it's only like 72, 73, but I've been standing in a 15-mile-an-hour wind for hours. It's getting, you know, it's just getting darker, and I think that's why the image isn't as clear. But when Wonder's right in front of us, trust me, you won't have any trouble seeing it then. Kathy, if the Rangers kick us out, they're going to have to kick a lot of people out because there's a lot of folks here. Let me switch. Let me see if I can invite myself for using a different camera into the stream that may see things better in the dark until we get the ship here. Bear with me for just a moment, guys. We're going to see if this works. I'm having to look away so that I can get my other camera online here. I apologize. Brandon, I'm sending you a link. Don't click it. Do not click the link I'm sending you, Brandon. This will make sense in a moment, maybe. Okay. Those from Florida understand why I'm cold. Yes, I'm also I'm also a huge wuss, so that's a contributing factor. I tell you what, while I'm getting this other camera online, can you guys see me here? Wow, not at all. All right, guys, stand by. We're going to try and get another camera online that's able to see in the dark a little bit better until Wonder is right in front of us. At which point, I promise you'll have no trouble seeing, because she is all lit up. Okay, here we go. So let me bring this other device into the stream here. Let me see if this will rotate for you guys. Sorry, I've just switched. All right. Excellent. Now, where's the thing to hold this phone? Sorry about that, guys. I'll get right back to the comments in a moment. I just wanted to make it so that you guys could see, because before I was using an iPad, which doesn't see as well in the dark, and well, it got dark. Once Odyssey is right in front of us, we'll be able to see just fine either way. But until then, I changed the. I've got the feed now coming from a Samsung phone that sees. Why is this shaky? All right, audio's too low. Sorry, well, I was kind of mumbling to myself. Are you guys still not able to hear me? Is it? You know what? Let me change the audio source. Let me do this. I wonder if it's only if it cut the audio off from my mic when I got the other video out there. That would be weird. All right, park rangers here. Let's see if they're going to make us leave right now. Fireboats already spraying. Watching from Norway, love it. Audio is better. Okay, park rangers are here. There's a group negotiation going on with the park rangers now. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Let me try and get rid of the. Let me get rid of the echo. Okay, sorry, dealing with park rangers here and multiple devices. I appreciate everyone being with me on this broadcast as we're going along. Oh, okay. Now I've canceled the echo. Sorry about that. Hello to Robert from Ireland. Paul Crow, hey there. Paul Crow was just where is it? Why isn't the comment coming up? There we go. Paul Crow was just commenting this morning on my article over at cruisehabit.com about the hotel review in Port Canaveral, because he lives right by there, so he doesn't need to stay in a hotel. But it's a lovely place. So if you guys check out our post about the Hilton Cocoa Beach, it's a great place to stay. It's not a paid endorsement, it's just where we happen to stay when we sail out of Port Everglades. And in fact, Wonder of the Seas coming up to us right now. She's actually going to be positioned out of Port Everglades, Port Canaveral rather, after she does this and then does Europe for a little while. Yep, we see water cannons up. I don't know if you guys can see that on the video yet. When she gets closer, there are water cannons going up. How's the weather? It's only like 72 degrees. It's 72 degrees, but it's very windy, and I've been standing out here for hours, so I'm shivering. But it's not as bad as being hot. Paul Crow endorses the happy hour at the Hilton. It's the Salt Lounge, it's called. Yes, that is Wonder of the Seas. That is that big ball of light right there. I don't know why this mount won't stick. She's even brighter than her sisters. It seems like it. I don't know if she's actually lit up more than the other Oasis class ships, or it's just because we're so used to we're not used to seeing a ship at night like this. I love ships at night. John, I've wanted to create an album of just ships at night photos for years because just there's certain ships that are gorgeous at night. And Royal Caribbean's Oasis class does it well. All the Disney ships do it very well. Oceana Marina and Riviera, they from the outside don't look like anything as far as at night, but on deck they're amazing. Edge series was really built for the night. I always say that, like they were the ones designed for the nighttime. Yep, when she comes back from Europe, she'll be going to Port Canaveral. That is correct. Your vision is better than mine.
You don't see them? They're right in there. You see them all?
So everyone here says, I don't see well at night, guys, but everyone tells me the crew is all the way out front for her sailing in. There are no guests on board right now. The first revenue sailing is March 4th, and we are going to be on board. Brandon, my shot is better than the PTZ TV shot. Remember that, guys. Subscribe. Thank you. So there she is, the world's largest cruise ship, Wonder of the Seas. It's too dark for me to see my notes, but I believe she comes in at, I forgot the tonnage now. But she is the largest. Each Oasis class ship has been slightly larger than the last, but this one is much larger, in fact, compared to the incremental differences previously. And we're going to be on board March 4th, so make sure you subscribe, follow along on YouTube and on social media and cruisehabit.com. We'll share the journey with you. We'll be broadcasting live and doing a ship tour. Let's see, if I'm looking right, she's 236 or 238,000. Can't see gross tons. 1,187 feet, 10 inches long. And I believe 200 and something feet at her widest. Really lit up beautifully. Look at right up there how pretty that area is at her forward mast. And you see the enclosed solarium there, which is absolutely gorgeous. Kind of like, it's like what they did on Odyssey, but more sleek. Very much looking forward to spending time on the maiden voyage in just a week and a half. Look at the big Royal Caribbean logo, the Crown and Anchor logo there, lit up, almost all the balcony lights on, all the veranda lights on, naturally adding, I think, to her luminescence. But the lights at the forward mast are really cool. They're very sparkly. And then in a moment here, you see those blue lights all the way astern. That's going to be the Aqua Theater area leading into the boardwalk. And that's also unique to this ship because other Oasis class ships, of course, have the boardwalk and the Aqua Theater. But this one has, I don't want to say enclosed, but there's like a shell around it that looks really cool. And it's also lit up quite a bit differently than the other Oasis class ships. 236,857 gross tons. Thank you, Ship Facts. It's too dark for me to read my notes. I appreciate it. absolutely gorgeous. I can't believe we're going to get to sail on her in a week and a half. It's I think it'll be only my second maiden. I guess sort of third, because Edge, I guess, was on a preview. I'm just excited to go and experience everything there is to see on that ship and share that with you guys live on YouTube and on Facebook and on cruisehabit.com. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and subscribe. We're going to have a lot of coverage of Wonder of the Seas. Plus, we often do live videos and recorded videos with ship tours, talking about the latest in cruise news, protocols, and more. Always happy to answer your cruise questions. If you want help planning your trip, we can answer your questions, and the same people that plan our trips can help you. Those are the folks at Touring Plans Travel. You can get a free, no obligation quote by filling out the purple form over at cruisehabit.com. If you want to cruise with us, we're going to be on Virgin Voyages, brand new adult-only cruise line, coming up in July. We've sailed several times. We have ship tours of Scarlet Lady and more on our YouTube channel, but we love Virgin Voyages, so cruise with us, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. July 3rd. We're also going to be staying on for back-to-back on that as well, so you can catch us there. And we've got lots of exclusive events and special savings. Would love to have you guys join us for that. Brandon, thank you for all of your help. As always, I really appreciate you. Pam, thanks for joining. Kathy, thank you. Larry, thank you for joining. Karen, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining us as a Wonder of the Seas. Make sure first arrival, getting ready to getting everything the final polish on everything so that she can sail her maiden voyage on March 4th. We will be on board, so be sure to follow along. Larry, thank you. I appreciate it. Brandon, yeah, it's going to be fun because it's now pitch black, and I have all sorts of stuff to carry, and as you know, a vision problem. So someone maybe give me a welfare check. No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining. This was awesome. Hopefully I will see some of you on the ship soon on her maiden, or maybe on Scarlet Lady, virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. Anytime you see me on any ship, please stop, say hi. Or if you see me out here at the park, stop by, say hi. I would love to buy you a drink, talk ship with you. We'll do another live broadcast just with some more news updates, talk more about those protocol changes. We'll do that in the next few days. And come with any questions you have. Love talking ship with all of you. I'm going to spin it around and wave here. Or try to spin it around and wave. Maybe disconnect the camera, spin it around and wave. Can you guys see me? Nope, pitch black. All right. You'll just have to trust me that I'm waving right now. Thank you guys so much. And subscribe. Look forward to talking ship with all of you again real soon. Jessica, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it very much.